Topping out is a milestone marking the end of major works. But the Leadenhall building is not like other skyscrapers, and the most important part of their build is still to come. It's fitting out the top 4 floors of the tower. They'll contain all the mechanical and electrical services that'll make the building live and breathe. Normally, a building would put these services at the very bottom, in the basement. But at Leadenhall, in the fight to maximize rentable floor space, they're going to cram heating equipment, cooling towers, chiller modules, generators, boilers, and control rooms into this space. Right at the top. Everything must be slotted through a small hole left in the roof of the building. It's an ingenious idea, but incredibly tough to realize.
It's going to be lifted up with the crane from the ground floor, and it's going to come in through this opening that you can see just here, lowered down onto level 49, and it's probably going to be one of the most challenging parts of the project.
The issue is that up here, space is tight. The floors are just a quarter of the size of the ground level. Using 3D modeling, engineers tried 20 different configurations before figuring out how they could pack everything in.
As you can see, it's already tight for space, so once the cladding's installed and this is all enclosed, it's going to feel a lot smaller as well. So it's going to be extremely challenging space-wise to make sure we're getting things in the right sequence and they're moved into position, into their final position straight away. Without that 3D model, I don't think it would have been possible up here.
Since the steelwork took 3 months longer than anticipated, Nick needs the attic installation to go without a hitch. He's got to fit 117 units by the end of November.
The way the build's gone at the moment, the structure has overrun, so there is a reasonable amount of pressure now to try and get the fit out, the plant fit out, finished up at these levels.
But nothing can happen until the cladding's done. On the floors below, all eyes are on the Sedge brothers. 11 months ago, they began a race to clad the Leadenhall building with 70,000 square meters of glass. Older brother Phil is working on the North Core, using the new monorail system, Cerberus. While younger brother Andy is sticking with good old-fashioned manpower on the south side.
You all right?
They're approaching the newly built finish line, and it's clear who will be taking first place.
Yeah, Phil's beating me. As you can see now, we've finished, got all the way up to the top on level 48, and it's all done now, so it's really good.
Using Cerberus has boosted Phil's team to the top.
Andy knows that I always win. He's having to live with that, unfortunately.
We're finished. It's a good achievement.
Andy still has 7 floors of glasswork to go.
I'm on my last level of glass going in. I've got the internals to go in after that. But in regards to the works, yeah, I'm always going to say mine was probably a bit tougher. So.
August 2013. It's 23 months since the major building work began at Leadenhall. The steel frame is complete and standing up straight. All the floors have been laid and the cladding is finished. It means that it's time for the critical power systems to be installed on the topmost floors of the 225-meter tall tower. First up, one of 4 16-ton generators. It's a delicate operation. One small knock could damage the £750,000 mechanism.
I mean, you're taking this in 7 metres away from your cab window, and that's It's got to be about 12, 14 metres long, that. So that's what worries you when it's windy, if it spins on you. Right, now we're going down through the letterbox from 51 down to 48. The hole we're going down is virtually the size of the machine, so we've got to take this real slow once we get through. You'll see a couple of lads down there are going to help us on the tag line. Once we get through the top here, Brian the bank's going to take over for us.
Jimmy must post the generator through a narrow slot that has been left in the attic's roof.
Once we go through the top here, that hole narrows. As we go down, it gets narrower. So, I don't know if you can see from there, but you've only got inches coming. When you get down the next floor, it'll literally be inches.
Keep coming, Jim. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, boy. Keep coming down. Okay, keep nudging onto the left. Just hitting up as you go, Jim. Are you happy with us? You all right, Bassett? Yeah, I'm living it. Yeah, come down. Right, come down easy, Jim. Down you come.
The first key piece is in. Now everything else must be positioned around it. By following the detailed 3D model, Jimmy and the team install 4 floors of services so fast that they are able to claw back the time lost when the steelwork overran. With the attic kitted out, they're ready to plug into the mains, flick the switch, and bring the Leadenhall building to life. Almost 40,000 components have been assembled in 2 years. A European construction record for a building of this size. The architects, engineers and construction workers at the Leadenhall building have pushed the limit of what can be achieved in the smallest of spaces and tightest of schedules.
When we've been engrossed in it as much as we have, it's very hard to stand back and see just what we've actually achieved over the last 2 years, and we really have achieved something very, very special in a very short period of time. It's an absolute celebration of engineering.
The building of the future has arrived, in the heart of an ancient city. Its tenants are set to move in May 2014, right on schedule.